Hello, my automatons. Welcome to the Autonomy School, where I teach you to be independent, and class is in session. Now, to review, we are currently in a playlist where I said we are creating an old school 2D Unity game, styled after Final Fantasy. However, immediately after learning how to add text to the screen, I said that we're going to switch into learning a text-based game for now. And in the previous session, I said that I would explain why we're going to make a text-based game instead of a Final Fantasy game. And here's that explanation. But first, what is a text-based game? A text-based game is an old-school style game that features only text, mostly text. No sprites, no pictures, or at least very few pictures. It might have music, but not likely. Basically, it is like a book where you choose the ending and you see it on screen. And the reason why we are learning how to make a text-based game is this. Final Fantasy is just a text-based game, just with extra stuff. For example, the pause menu is text. Click a chest and you see item text. Click on a person, you see random text. Battle text, save text. Text for level up, text for shop. Text for quest, text for everything. Everything is just text. Literally, showing and manipulating text is the core of any Final Fantasy game. Heck, most people only play Final Fantasy for the story. In other words, they play so that they can get to the next bit of text, which will further explain the world. So, if you know how to manipulate text, then you have done 80% of what a Final Fantasy game is. The other 20%, the extra stuff, that would be the battle system, leveling system, items, art, and music. But without all that, if you don't include any of that, then Final Fantasy is still just a text-based game. So, here are all the text-based skills we are going to learn. We will learn how to make text appear, how to make text disappear, how to change the text when it appears, and how to make the system choose which text should show based on a player's choice. Once we have figured that out, then we will use our text system for our Final Fantasy style game. So, yes, basically, the text-based game we are building will become a component in our Final Fantasy style game. And now, for Otto's Life Lessons. Otto's Life Lessons are designed to help you keep momentum and avoid frustration. Frustration would be defined as feeling a lack of forward progress. And today's lesson is, make sure what you are doing directly translates into your desired outcome. Let me give you an example. In the case of, say, making a video game, you need to learn how to put text on a screen. And it is true, you could learn that skill by making a quiz game. But because a quiz game is not like an RPG like Final Fantasy is, you will feel like the quiz game is an obstacle that stands between you and your goal. Meanwhile, because a text-based game actually resembles games like Final Fantasy, you can easily see how completing it would contribute to your goals. Not only that, but your work will not go to waste. For instead of building an entirely new system for your Final Fantasy game, you could just plug the text-based game's code into your new game. And the added benefit is that currently we can focus on one skill, which would be text, instead of worrying about music and pictures. Yet, because when we do add those things to our text-based game, then the game will translate into your Final Fantasy style game. That is why I chose to make a text-based game at this time, to help you to learn something simple while still keeping forward momentum. No lateral movements, no backtracking, only forward. That is how you avoid frustration. Anyway, in the next session, we will begin to build a menu for our game. Why? Because building a menu is the easiest form of manipulating text on a screen, which again is a skill we need. Alright, class dismissed.